So moving in the series of operators in C today in this lecture, we'll talk about logical operators and we'll see that what they are. And we have already finished the arithmetic and relational part in the series of operators in C. And this is so. Let's start our video. Before going on to the video, we'll see the overview of our today's lecture. So the first part, of course, will introduce the logical operators with the help of definition. And in the second part, we'll see the types of logical operators, or you can also say them as examples of logical operators. Then in the mid part of the video, we'll explain the each and every examples or type of a logical operator that are involved. And finally, to have a better hand on the logical operator, we'll write some code in the IDE. So let's start our video on this operator. Stay tuned. Talking about logical operators, what they are. So logical operators are basically used to check more than two conditions. So suppose that you have two conditions A and B. So you can check that whether both the statements are true or not, or either one is false, one is true or not. So this kind of scenarios you can handle with the logical operators. Please note that in the case of relational operators, we used the comparison part, but here we'll check the condition only. Okay, that whether the condition is true or not, and we'll check more than one condition at a time. Okay, so for that purpose we can use the logical operator in the C programming. So you can say that it checks the logic, as the name suggests here, logical. Somewhere logic word is hidden in this. So you can say that this logical operators are used to check the logic, that whether it is true or not. And it is often used in writing code to tackle all the practical scenarios or non-practical scenarios in the C programming also. And we'll talk that what are the types of logical operators and what the operators are, and how we can use with the help of some code in the IDE. Now moving on to the examples of the logical operators, you can see here there are mainly three types, or you can say the examples of logical operator. First one is AND operator, second one is the OR operator, third one is the NOT operator. Okay, so the first operator you can see here AND, which is the combination of two ampersand here. Second one, you can see the parallel lines here, which is called as OR operator, and here you can see the exclamatory sign, which is NOT operator. So now we'll discuss each one of them in detail, that how to use them and what's the purpose, and how they work actually in the C programming. Okay, so talking about first the AND operator. So how AND operator executes. So suppose that if you were using AND operator, so so every logical operator, just understand this, that every logical operator will return boolean values, that either it will be true or it will be false. On the basis of the values, the code will be executed further, or the statements corresponding to that boolean value will be executed. We'll see this in the ID with the help of code. Now as of now, you just see that it returns true if and only if both or all the given conditions are true. So suppose that you have two conditions here, A and B. Make sure that you understand A and B as the condition, okay, not any kind of number. Okay, so A and B are two conditions, and if you use AND operator in between them, so this whole statement or this whole combination will return boolean expression true if the A and B both are correct. So suppose you have two conditions A and B. If both the conditions are correct, that means A is also correct, B is also correct, then only this AND operator used between both the conditions will return correct value, or you can say value 1 or true value. Otherwise it will return 0 or false value. Okay, so this is how AND operator. So to get true value from the AND operator, the main condition is that both the conditions should be correct. Otherwise it will return a false value or 0 value. Okay, So this is how AND operator works. Moving on to the OR operator, you can see same here. It returns true if one or both are true, okay, else it returns false. Okay, so suppose consider an example here. You can you have two conditions again, A and B, and if you are using the OR operator in between them, then it will return true value if any one of these statements are correct. Okay, so suppose A is correct and B is not correct, then again it will give the value true only, as the name suggests. OR, so OR means if any one of the conditions are correct, either A is correct or either B is correct, then it will return true, and if both are correct, then again it will return the value true only. But if both are false, then it will return false value or zero value. So OR operator will return false only if both the statements are false, okay, or both the conditions are false. Now seeing the NOT operator here, you can see that it just makes the result operator result opposite. Okay, so if we have a result as true, then if you will use this operator, then the result will become opposite, that means it will become false. Okay, so here you can see that we have used the not operator before A. So this is how we use the not operator. So suppose the value of A is 0, that means false. Then if you will use not operator here, then it will change the false value to the true value, or opposite. You can also say that not A returns true if the value of A is false. So suppose the value of A is false, then if you will use not operator here, then it will return true. Okay, so that's how the three main logical operators work, and now we'll move on to the IDE to understand it in more detailed manner. Okay, so let's move on to the Visual Studio IDE. Again, stay tuned with me. So welcome to Visual Studio IDE. So as this is tutorial number 14, so we have tutorial number 14 here, and we have opened this file, and here we have written some code to understand how to use the logical operator. So till now I have declared three variables as var1, var2 and var3, and then I have scanned all the values till now. Now what I will do, I will use the basics of if-else statement, as we have taught the basics of the if-else statement in the previous tutorial, which was tutorial number 13. So we'll use them to understand how to use the logical operator. So suppose I want to check that whether all these three values are equal or not. So how to check that? We need here the combination of relational operators and the logical operators also. Okay, so let's say first I will check that whether var1 and var2 are equal or not. Okay, so now and then check var2 is equal to var3 or not. So if this condition holds true, then the if block will be executed, and then I will come in the if block, and the statement will be executed saying that all the numbers are equal. Okay, all the numbers are equal, then I will add new line character and semicolon. Now suppose that if this does not hold true, then I will say else here, else statement here. So I will write that printf that percentage here, sorry, not percentage, double quotes here. So I will write that no, the numbers are not equal. Okay, just new line character here and semicolon, and you can say here, say everything went fine, and then you can have return 0 here. So this is the code to check whether the var1, var2 and var3 are equal or not. So how you can understand this code? So suppose you have scanned all the values of var1, var2 and var3, and now you will first check the first condition A, which is check whether var1 is equals to var2 or not, and this is condition B, which will check var2 is equals to var3 or not. So this statement will be executed only and only if this whole condition, that means this whole one condition will be correct, or it will return the value true to this if to this if. Okay, so to return the value true in the case of ampersand, both the conditions should be correct. So if both the conditions will be correct, then only all these three values will be equal. So just save this code first, don't forget to save the code, and now just go and it will ask for the value of var1 and var2, var2 to var3. Just wait. Now suppose I enter the value of var1 as 5. Okay, then var2 is 5 again and var3 is 5 again. So you can see that here both the conditions are correct. That means var1 is equals to var2, condition is correct, and var2 is equals to var3, again condition is correct. So both the conditions are correct, hence this AND operator will return the true value to this if, and hence the this statement corresponding to the if block will be printed. And if you want to see the next part here, printing the else part, so you need to just say that you need to just input the different values of the var1, var2 and var3. So let's see. So put var1 equals to 5, then var2 equals to 5, just change the value var3 equal to 4. So you can say that the output is no, the numbers are not equal. So how it has executed, you can say that the both var1 and var2 are equal in this case, as the input is 5 and 5 only. Okay, so var1 and var2 are equal. That means the first condition, A condition, is true, but the second condition is not true because the 4 is not equals to 5. That means condition is false. That means the A condition is true but B condition is false. That means overall the whole condition will return the false value because we are using an ampersand, and ampersand returns true value if and only if both the conditions are true. So that's why it returns false. That means this whole condition is not correct. Then it will come to the else part and it will execute the else part. So you can see here the else part has been executed in this terminal. You can see here we have used the not operator here. Okay, and we have also used the relation operator which is not equals to. So what we are checking here, that just check that whether var1 is different from var2 or not. Okay, so suppose that here this condition will say that var1 is different from var2 or not. Okay, so if var1 is different from var2, then this condition var1 is not equals to var2 will give the true value, and but here not operator is used, so this true value will be changed to the false value. That means overall the value will be false. That means it will return false value to the if statement, if block. So this statement will not be executed and it will automatically come to the else part and it will print the oh look, the numbers are not equal. Okay, so for now just come in this part. Okay, scanning, because we need only var1 and var2. So now just have a new terminal here and just try to save this code. Okay, and now type gcc tutorial 14.c. it has compiled the code and we'll run this a.exe. Now suppose I will give two different values for the var1 and var2. Suppose I give value for var1 as 5 and var2 as 4. So the output will be no, the numbers are not equal, which is correct, because you can see here this this condition will represent true value because both are different, but due to not operator here, the value will change to false, and hence this block will not be executed and it will come to else part and it will execute the else statement. So the we have printed the no, the numbers are not equal. Now if you want to print it in the other way, so just give both as equal. You can say that all the numbers are equal. So here what happened, that this condition returns false, due to not operator it becomes true. Overall the condition become true, hence it prints the this statement that all the numbers are equal. So this is how we use the, now we have discussed the not operator and the AND operator. Now we'll discuss the OR operator, that how to use the OR logical operator in the C programming. So you can say here I have written that if the value of var1 is 5 or the value of var2 is 5, then I will print that I will ask for the pocket money from my mother. Else I will print that I will not ask for the pocket money from my mother. So this is OR operator. That means if one of the condition is correct, then it will print this, else it will print the else part. Okay, so just try and save the code here. It is asking for the value of var1. Suppose I put the value of var1 as 5 and var2 as 5 again, so it will print I will ask for the pocket money, because here you can see both the values of the var1 and var2 are 5 only. Then that means both the conditions are true, hence this OR operator will return the value true to the if block, and hence this statement will be executed. Now again, if you want to run this code, again run this code. Okay, now this time print 5 and 1 print 4. Again it will print the same, because it is OR operator and one of the condition is correct. Now again, if you will put both different values like 4 and say 3, then it will print the else part, because neither var1 is equals to 5 nor var2 is equals to 5. That means both these conditions are false, hence it will return overall false to the if block, and hence the else block will be executed and you will get that I will not ask for the pocket money. So this is how the logical operators are, and this is how we use the logical operators in the practical scenarios. I hope you understood this better with the help of code or the examples that we have discussed. So that's it for this video. Please like the video, subscribe the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. So that's it. Thank you and Jai Hind.